Hi YouTube, this is part 3 of my little series on how I build my river scene. So yeah, what I've done so far, I've created a baseboard, a lower point in the baseboard just by cutting out, added some blocks in underneath, and then screwing it all down together, hold nice and firm. I then put on these sides here. This is made out of paper board. Put them on an angle to give you the banks. Next, I put in a piece of cardboard in the bottom. Held that down with a few nails, a bit of glue down there. Painted it with the basic under the bottom of the leg, dark blues, light blues, some white. After that, I added in the glue and let that just set off a bit. After it set for a little while, I started to add this scenery here. A few reeds, a few sort of bushes along the side. So where am I now? Now the glue is almost fully dry. There's a few white patches left that just need to finish off. I then added, just before the video, I've just put on some more green lily-like pads or scenery down here all the way around in the bottom. On top of that, I've also created a back end here. Which is dark, so you can't see through to the white wool. So you need to do that just to give it sort of like a stopping point. You can't see any further. Also, the other thing I've done is the bridge, which I showed you all last time. Just here, as you can see, a bit of moss growing on it. It's a very unfortunately, it's a purpley wood colour, so I had to add a bit more green than I usually would have. All along the sides there's moss growing. The underneath I've left clear, because you don't actually see it, but you can see what I mean by a very strange purpley brown. Turn it back over. There you go. Yeah, anyway, that's my bridge. Let's move that out of the way. Now, the next thing which you need to do, or I need to do I should say, is create the grass, the long, well, quite heavy, rough grass. As you can see a little bit in the corner of the picture just here. Not very clear, but anyway. So how do I do that? Well, I use this stuff here. I'm not sure what you guys call it, but I just call it wire wool. I know it's got a few other odd names, but yeah, there you go. I just use wire wool. I haven't got a lot of it left. I'm only going to do a little bit for this video at the moment. So is what I do is I break off the wire wool into some large sort of flat sections, then start to pull it out. So first thing is push it together, try and remove any bits of dust or anything out of it, and then just start pulling it apart in all directions. And you want to get it as thin as possible, but with little holes, with very little gaps all the way through. Alright, now then, as this paperboard is green already, I don't have to paint over it. But if you have got a board that isn't green, I suggest that you paint it for a dark green, for like an undercoat base colour. It means you don't have to be quite as sort of thick with this wire wool. Alright, there we go. I've pulled it out and this is a square at the moment. As you can see, it's quite rough looking. Very good bits of grass coming out towards us. You can just increase that by pulling it towards us, like so. Anyway, there we go. Right, now this here, I'm starting at this end. Basically what I do is I lay it on, and as I can see from here, it's far too big. So work out where it's too big. I don't cut it because that makes it far too neat. I rip it. Now this wire will rip really easily actually. Just put a bit of force on it and it breaks off. Right then. Find about where I want it to go, about the correct place and size, and that's one piece done. Now the next bit, which I broke off earlier, is actually quite nice and small, which is just what I need for the other end. Is what you don't want to try and do is cover up the reeds. You want to go behind the reeds, like so. and I'd use like a pencil or something to force it down behind the reeds. Okay. Right, now then. Good. Right, now there's two ends done. So you carry on doing that all the way through, all the way down, until you've got a layer on there that you're quite happy with. Right, so I'll do that later on. Right, the next thing you do is very carefully take it off again. And now I'm just using 100% PVA glue, and as you would expect, this has to be quite thick, or thick, a very good covering all over everything, because the wire wool doesn't stick very well. It sticks well to the glue, but it hasn't got a lot of surface area to stick onto. So the more glue you give it, the more it will latch on, and the better it will stick. Right then. Okay then, when your glue's on, you then need to almost pat down the wire wool, make sure it's really sort of stuck into the glue. Then you leave it. When the glue's dried, you want to come back and rough up the surface just by pulling at it a bit. So I'm going to carry on doing this on the far side, and then I will show you how I paint this, because it's not as simple as just wiping over the top of it. Alright then, I've now finished both sides, as you can see going along, all the way down both sides. Then now what I've got to do is let that glue dry. Once it's dried, I can then show you how I how I painted it to get the effect of the grass behind me. Now while the glue's drying, I've also added a lot more bushes, sort of all over the place, and mainly under the bridge, just around the edge there, and on the other side there's a few bushes, and then also at that bridge there. Now to do that, or actually, if you do have a bridge over a river or something, always put the bridge back in before anything's set hard. That way you can check it all fits and move anything around. It also shows you the position of any grass or anything like that you need to add. So I'm going to leave this for about an hour or so to let it dry. Then I will restart the video, and you can see how I paint and finish off the detail and anything like that. So